artistic morning! Welcome to our second day of lesson in math, learning mathematical concept through culture and art. Join me to explore more about our rich culture and appreciate arts while learning patterns and sequences. After learning this lesson, you are expected to illustrate an arithmetic sequence and determine the nth term of an arithmetic sequence. On the prior lesson, you have developed your understanding of sequences or patterns. Your knowledge to recognize patterns helps you to create the next term or images of the pattern. This skill is important for you to easily grasp the learning concept of arithmetic sequences. Let us have our first warm-up exercise to see how you understand the previous lesson.
Choose the best answer that will describe the pattern. Is it A, increasing in the number of tied knots? Letter B, decreasing in the number of blinds? Letter C, increasing in the number of curved lines? Or letter D, decreasing in the number of intersecting lines? And you're right, it's letter A, increasing in the number of tied knots. Let's have the second one. Choose the best answer that will describe the pattern. Is it letter A, increasing in the number of waves? Letter B, increasing in the number of waves and curved lines? Letter C, decreasing in the number of curved lines? Or letter D, decreasing in the number of waves? You got it right. It's letter B, increasing in number of waves and curved lines. The third one. Choose only one from the choices that does not describe the pattern. Is it letter A, moving in counterclockwise? Letter B, divided into two? Letter C, alternating in colors? Or letter D, increasing the number of circles? Good job! It's letter B, divided into two. Let's have the fourth one. Choose only one from the choices that does not describe the pattern. Is it letter A, moving in counterclockwise? Letter B, increasing in number of kanduli? Letter C, divided the kanduli equally on each side? Or letter D, the kanduli were multiplied? Excellent! It's letter D, the kanduli were multiplied. Let's have the last one. Choose only two from the choices that describe the pattern. Is it letter A, added with letters A, E, I? Letter B, increasing in number of letters, added? Letter C, decreasing in number of letters? Or letter D, lessen in vowels? And the answer is letter A, added with letters A, E, I, and letter B, increasing in number of letters, added. Congratulations, everyone!
Good job, everyone! Now, let us define what is an arithmetic sequence. First, a sequence is an arrangement of objects, numbers, or even figures which follows a certain pattern. While arithmetic is the branch of mathematics that deals with the study of numbers using various operations on them, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In this lesson, you will learn about the process in finding patterns of any sequence. Let us study the pattern of quadrants formed by tying up same sizes yantok, or known as rattan, used in making the body of gigante shown on the screen. I know you are excited to solve more problems involving arithmetic sequence. Here is another activity called Sequence of Art. Using your module, you may join me read the selection entitled The Art of Making a Gigante. All you have to do is to understand and analyze each problem to determine the correct answer that will complete the statement in each scenario involving arithmetic sequence, and circle the correct answer in the parentheses.
The art of making a gigante. Every year on November 22 to 23, local folks in our town Angono paraded about 100 gigantes, each uniquely designed to portray a character or to personify an idea. According to FEU Professor Owen Saginsing, it was Carlos Botong Francisco, the national artist for visual arts in 1973, who created a version of the gigante to parade through the town to forget and recover from the aftermath of World War II. Then it was Artemio Tahan who introduced the mag-anak or Pamilyang Higante, a three-piece set of giant paper-mache figures representing a traditional Filipino family. As part of the celebration of the town's fiesta, there will be a Higante making contest to be participated by the local artists. I, as a passionate local artist, decided to join the contest and to make my own version of Higante. Here's the process of how I made the head of my Higante. First, the head of the Higante is fashioned from a mold made of clay, which is dried under the heat of the sun. Generally, it took almost 7 days to dry thick clay under the heat of the sun. Luckily, the weather was fine and the heat from the sun helps my molded clay dry fast. I have recorded the changes in temperature over the first 4 days respectively: 23.3 degrees Celsius, 24.15 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius, 25.85 degrees Celsius. The last day was the hottest day on the week, which temperature rises to 29.35 degrees Celsius, 28.4 degrees Celsius, 27.55 degrees Celsius. Second, after the mold had finally dried, I started to spread the first layer of newspapers soaked in homemade glue or gawgaw and dried in the sun for another layering of newspaper. On the first layer, I have consumed 23 pages of newspaper and I used another 34 pages of newspaper to make sure that the next layer is thicker. I made sure that the number of pages of newspaper consumed for each layer was 11 pages more than the previous. After a few days, I managed to dry my fourth layer of newspaper and consumed 45, 56, 54 pages to achieve the design I want for my Higante. Next, I pasted out layer with brown paper covering the slit and sun-dried again. Since it was raining that day, and to assure quick drying time, I used hair dryer. To avoid having the hair dryer overheat, I set the alarms in various times during the day. Within the day, I have used the hair dryer at 10:25 a.m. 11:55 a.m., 1:25 p.m., 2:55 p.m. respectively. On my 8th use of the hairdryer at 8:55 p.m., 7:25 p.m., 8:55 a.m., the outer layer had finally dried up. To make the paper mache heads durable and weatherproof, they were painted and given an emulsion coat. I started to paint the first layer using 1 gallon or 3.785 liters of emulsion and waited for it to dry before I put another layer. Lastly, I managed to put same amount of emulsion for every layer to achieve my desired coat. To make sure that I have correctly managed the use of emulsion, I listed the amount: 3.235 liters, 2.685 liters, 2.135 liters, 1.585 liters, 1.035 liters. I ended up with 0.485 liters, 0.845 liters, 0.548 liters, and keep it to use for other important art. The body is made up of bamboo and other materials like yantok, or known as rattan. Yards of clothing materials and accessories used to complete the costume of the higante. I have made 4 bended rattan formed into circles, which the smallest is 3.3 feet, followed by 3.6 feet and 3.9 feet, and the largest with 4 feet, 3.11 feet, 3.10 feet.
It is now the time for you to do the remaining activities in your module on your own. Have fun learning arithmetic sequence while exploring the culture of Angono that is known for its arts and traditions. See you again next day. May God bless us all.